What's up, y'all? Today I want to give you all a few tips that have helped me and will hopefully help you pass any combine, prop firm challenge, evaluation, whatever you want to call them, and become a funded trader. Now, first thing is first, you have to understand the rules. So depending on which prop firm you decide to go with, one of my favorites is Elite Trader Funding. Obviously, I've done a few videos on them before. You could also go with someone like Apex Trader Funding. I just recently passed an Apex account and now have a performance account with them. Regardless of who you choose, you have to understand the rules. There are lots of different prop firms and companies out there. You have Top Step, FTMO, The Funded Trader, Bullnox. There are a million different prop firms out there. Choose the one with the rules that best satisfy your trading abilities. And for me, those happen to be the static accounts because I don't like trailing drawdowns. But definitely first step is understanding the rules and picking the company that you want to go with. Make sure you do your research, ask around, ask other traders you know that may use these firms, and make the best choice for your trading and your abilities, not based on what other people are doing or what everyone else says is good. I personally don't like Top Step because they have too many rules and it takes too long, too many different phases to get funded. I should be able to pass in one dry and then I have a funded account. That's not the case with Top Step. They have multiple different phases and phase 1, phase 2, and you have to pass multiple times, and that's too much work for me. So, like I said, pick the one that works best for you and what you like to do as a trader. Understanding the rules also comes with going onto the site's website and looking at the actual rules of each evaluation. There are lots of videos on YouTube that you can watch that'll break these down. I actually have one breaking down Elite Trader Funding. I don't have one breaking down Apex, but still, you literally can go to the About page, read about the prop firm, make sure that they're legit. There are a lot of prop firms popping up these days. You want to make sure that they're actually a real company and that they're going to pay out. You can also go to testimonials and see different people getting payouts, how much they've paid out over time. Because the worst thing that could happen is you trade and you do really well and then you don't get your money. No one wants to do that, right? But you definitely also want to learn the rules of the account that you're going to be trading. How many trading days does it take for you to pass? So Apex takes 7 days. It has a minimum of 7 days to pass and get a performance account once you hit the profit target. Are there trailing drawdowns? Can you trade during news? Is there a maximum position size? How many steps are there? So like I said, Top Step has too many steps for me. Apex has 1 step. Elite Trader Funding has 1 step. And when can you trade? These are all things that you have to know in order to be successful. If you don't realize that you have a trailing drawdown and you go up and then you take a loss and it puts you back some, that could fail you. So you need to know that ahead of time. And knowing these rules will also help you to craft a trading plan and solidify which model you're going to trade for that evaluation. In addition to the rules, you also need to know what platforms are you going to be allowed to trade on. This is also a big factor in determining which companies that I decide to go with. For example, I use Elite Trader Funding and now Apex because they offer trading through TradingView. I like to trade on TradingView. I chart on TradingView, so I want to continue to use TradingView. I hate NinjaTrader. Some people love it. That's their opinion. But you need to know what tools the company works with. So don't go signing up for a Top Step account thinking that, oh, I can trade on, some random platform or I can trade on Thinkorswim, and you can't. You want to make sure that where you're comfortable trading, you can trade with that firm. So for me, that's Elite Trader Funding and that's Apex Trader Funding because they recently added TradingView, and I can trade on TradingView with both of them. And it is through Tradebait, but it allows me to log in on TradingView if I turn it on. So that's my reason for picking them. If you don't like trading on TradingView and you love NinjaTrader, then you can go use any prop firm that allows you to trade on NinjaTrader. This is important because understanding your platform, how it works, is how you get in and out of trades is going to be crucial to how well you trade. Because the more comfortable you are, the easier it is for you to take good trades. And the easier it is for you to take good trades, the more money you're going to make. Now that we've got the boring stuff of understanding the rules and the platform that you're trading on out of the way, let's talk about the most important part of this. It's definitely risk management. You will not pass any funded evaluation without knowing risk management. And that comes from knowing exactly how much you can risk each trade and exactly how much you can risk total without hitting your trailing drawdown or your drawdown. So I'm going to give an example in this video that covers the static account because that's what I have and that's what I trade and prefer to trade. $150,000 static account. your profit target is $4,000 and your max drawdown is $1,250. The reason that I love static accounts and that I think they're cheat codes is because you literally can trade them, and every time you want to trade, your drawdown gets bigger. So for example, your max drawdown is $1,250. Now let's say I win my first trade and I make $300. Now my drawdown is $1,550. It makes it extremely hard to fail if you win a few trades. Now, depending on how you trade, that's going to determine how much you want to risk per trade. So with a $1,250 drawdown, if you want to be an aggressive trader, you can risk up to $312 per trade, and that will give you 4 trades to be right. So if you lose 4 trades in a row, you'll blow the account. Personally, this is the way that I trade these combines because I feel like I'm not risking any of my own money, only what I paid for the evaluation. And this evaluation costs $300. And if you get it on a discount, I think they're running 50% off right now. If you get it on a discount, it's no more than $150, $160. And that's not a lot to risk in the futures market. Now, if you don't want to trade that aggressively and you feel like, okay, if I lose 4 times in a row, I really might do that and I'll blow this account, I don't want to risk that much. Play it a little safer and you can risk $200 per trade. That'll give you 6 times to be wrong before you blow the account. Now, the aggressive trading, you can trade the ES with it and risk less than 10 points. You can risk maybe 5 or 6 points, and that'll be considered an aggressive trade. Now, the reason I like to do that is because trading the ES, I can make a lot more money. And a lot of my trades really are risking 6, 7, 8 points. So risking 6 points on the ES, I'm risking $300. And I can shoot for 10 or 12 or however many points. Sometimes I take it off at 8, who knows. And making that money, you can get to your $4,000 profit target much sooner. However, if you're not that risky and you don't feel like, hey, I want to risk this much per trade, I want to take it slow, because remember, you do have 30 days to pass, and most people don't know that if you don't pass in 30 days, you can literally pay for another month and continue to trade until you hit your profit target. So if you're not feeling risky, you can play it safe with 200 or your safest, which would be 125 risk per trade. And that is just gives you 10 trades to be wrong before you blow the account. It's literally $1,250 divided by 10. So whatever your evaluation target or your evaluation drawdown is, especially for static, you can divide by however many trades you think it'll take you to be wrong before you blow it. So if you think you can not lose 5 in a row, then you can risk that much. If you think you cannot lose 6 in a row, you can risk that much. Now, will it happen sometimes? Yes, but the odds of it happening every time you take an evaluation and you're only risking a couple $100s are very slim. Personally, I trade aggressively, especially with other people's money. That's just how I feel. I'm not going to trade that aggressively with my own money. But you can do this with your own account, no matter which one you choose. However, remember that your drawdown is going to change if you have a trailing drawdown. And in order for any of this to work, you have to have a risk to reward greater than 1-to-1. If you don't have a risk to reward greater than 1-to-1, this will not work. And having a risk to reward greater than 1-to-1 just means that whatever you're risking, you're making more than that. So if you're risking 1 point, you're making 1 point at least. Or you're risking 10 points, you're making 10 points at least. So if you risk 6 points, then your target needs to be at least 6 points away. And the reason all of this works so well with the static account is that your drawdown grows every time you want to trade. So let's say you are being aggressive and you risk $300 and you end up making $300 or more because your risk to reward is greater than 1-to-1. So let's say you risk $300 but you made $400. So now your drawdown is not $1,250 anymore, it's $1,650. So let's say that you're taking the evaluation and you've made $1,800 total. Now your max drawdown, instead of being at $1,250, is at $3,000. And if you divide $3,000 by 4, your new max risk per trade is $750. That would allow you to trade 2 ES mini contracts, risking 6 points each, and still give you a little wiggle room. And if you're trading 2 mini contracts, your profits will add up much faster and get you to your profit target of $4,000 much quicker. This is why I love static accounts. You can't do this with a trailing drawdown. You can't do this with any other type of account other than static. And understanding the risk management behind it will allow you to pass these static accounts super easily, and you'll fall in love with them just like I have. And let's even say that you're not trying to be aggressive. If you've made $1,800, your drawdown is now at $3,000. Even if you wanted to divide by 10, your risk per trade would still be at $300, and you could still trade the ES. You'll hit your profit target much faster and much easier by trading the ES, but you have to work to get there first. There's nothing wrong with trading the micros first for a couple trades and then using the ES. But if your drawdown is $600 or just $1,000, you're going to struggle trading the ES because you can only lose twice with a 10-point stop. So understanding how much you can risk and how much you're allowed to trade each trade is going to help you so much. It's literally impossible to blow the account unless you just have a really bad streak of trading and you lose 10 times in a row. So there's different strokes for different folks. You can do what works best for you, but I love trading like this. I personally, like I said earlier, I always go with the aggressive style because I don't care if I blow it. It feels like sim to me, and I don't blow them often. Yeah, I've had multiple withdrawals using these same risk management techniques, and I think you will too if you just implement them and you have a good model. Now, trade models is the very last thing I want to talk about today. So once you know your risk management, you have to have a model that you're going to trade. Your model should include when you're going to trade, so what hours. For example, I've put one up here, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. You should have a setup that you're going to trade. It doesn't have to be this setup, but this is just one that I could think of off the top of my head. Fair value gaps after a liquidity run. You should be able to go find this setup on a chart and say, this is what I'm going to trade every single time. And then you also should have your risk parameters that you've already come up with. So, an example, I put aggressive here, but this means that you need to divide your drawdown by however many trades you think you cannot lose in a row and go from there. You can also include other things in your trade model, like how many times can you lose per day, how many times can you lose per week, like when are you going to stop trading if it's not going right for you. You can also have a weekly goal, a monthly goal, something like that. Obviously, your profit target is probably going to be your goal, but you're not going to make that in one day unless you're having a really good day. And I'm not going to say you're not because I've passed a couple of these in one day. But your trade model is really, that's going to be your rules for how you're going to trade this account. It's going to include your risk. It's going to have everything in it to help you pass this challenge. Hopefully this was helpful. If you guys want more videos like this, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. And good luck in your evaluations. Please, please, please do not take any evaluations until you feel like you're emotionally ready. Because despite all of these tips that I've given you, you're still going to have psychology playing against you. You're going to have some emotions when you start one of these evaluations because I've had them. And don't let it get you into a funk, and don't let it make you feel like I can never pass one of these, because you can. Thanks for watching and good luck trading. Until next time.